Hey gang, welcome to another edition of Doc's Dumpster, where it's a review of the movie Batman and Robin. Well, Batman and Robin are back, and this time they're facing off against the evil force of Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy. And apparently Batman and Robin are having a little trouble. Why? I don't know, maybe Robin wanted to wear the Batman mask or something like that. Anyway, Mr. Freeze is in Gotham, freezing up everything that he can, naturally, with his icy cold stare. Warning, there's going to be a lot of bad puns in this review. Batman and Robin arrive on the scene. They stop Mr. Freeze, and then, of course, Poison Ivy comes along a little bit later. We meet up with her. And apparently Poison Ivy is the reason why Bane exists. Go figure. So Poison Ivy breaks Mr. Freeze out of jail. They cause, well, what you would in Gotham, all kinds of trouble, freezing up the town and making plant life a little bit tough. And Poison Ivy goes around and kisses all the boys and makes them die. And then we meet up with Barbara, who turns out to be Alfred's niece, and Alfred in this movie is in really bad shape. Turns out Alfred is suffering from getting a lot older and can't do his job anymore-itis. So Barbara comes along and tries to basically straighten up Bruce and Robin. I know his real name, I just don't want to say it. It's kind of weird. And let's call him Richard. Would that be better for you guys, Richard? Okay, Bruce and Richard. Huh, it's kind of weird. Bruce and Richard, Batman and Robin. Where was I? Oh yeah, right. So Barbara comes along, tries to straighten up Bruce and Richard about using Alfred and everything like that, because he's getting older and all this other stuff. Anyway, Barbara discovers that Bruce and Richard are Batman and Robin. She becomes Batgirl, and she winds up helping them defeat Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy. Because, let's face it, Batman and Robin are not going to hit a girl, as far as I know. Well, there was Batman Returns where he got into a fist fight with Catwoman, but that's a different story, and Robin was not involved in that one. So, it is revealed that Poison Ivy had something to do with Mr. Freeze's wife being in the situation she's in. Obviously, he wasn't trying to give her the cold shoulder. So anyway, Mr. Freeze gives Batman this little cure to take care of Alfred, and now he's able to get back up and do backflips and jumping jacks and all that other stuff he was able to do, and oh yeah, of course, do his job too. And Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy wind up in the same cell together, which turns out to be a pretty bad idea. And at the end of the movie, what do we see? Batman, Robin, and Batgirl running towards the screen to end this movie. The movie, of course, stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, George Clooney, Chris O'Donnell, Uma Thurman, Alicia Silverstone, and former pro wrestler Jeep Swenson as Bane. So, does this movie belong in a dumpster? Well, you bet your sweet batarang it does. This was the worst in the entire series. The comical sound effects were awful. The pun-liners from Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. You know something? Arnold Schwarzenegger had to get top billing for this movie. That was not bad enough. And then you have George Clooney, who will not even try to change his voice. Michael Keaton changed his voice as Batman. Val Kilmer changed his voice as Batman. George Clooney played the same voice as Batman and Robin. Batman and Bruce Wayne, sorry. This movie was horrible. It was bad. Originally, they were supposed to have Patrick Stewart play Mr. Freeze. Now, I thought that was a great idea. He really looked the part, he could play the part. But why get big, beefy Arnold Schwarzenegger to play Mr. Freeze? I don't know, because Mr. Freeze was never that big in the first place. And I thought Barbara Batgirl was the commissioner's daughter. And then they turn around and go, nope, Barbara is really actually Albert's niece. Or Alfred's niece, sorry. Okay. I guess. But this whole movie sucked. I mean, this was beyond horrible. I like Batman. I like Batman Returns. And Batman Forever is probably my favorite in the entire series. But this was awful. This was horrible. Put this in a bat dumpster and feed it to a shark, and don't give that shark any kind of bat shark repellent. I'm sorry I had to say that joke. That was horrible. I'm terrible. I'm sorry about that. But there you guys have it. A review of Batman and Robin. Put it in a dumpster and get it off this planet. If you like my videos, feel free to subscribe. And if you think you got something that belongs in the dumpster, send it my way and I'll get on it ASAP. Thank you guys so very, very much for watching. And until next time, as always, stay strong and rock on.